we'll read the text. Right, furthermore, not knowing reality, three types of formation develop: those that lead to meritorious states, those that lead to unmeritorious states, and those that lead to unmovable states. This is what we mean by ignorance cause formation. So ignorance is the root cause, and then ignorance, due to ignorance, karmic formations arise. Karma arises. So when the karma arises, then two types of throwing karma, virtuous karma thrown into the three good rebirths, non-virtuous karma thrown into the three lower rebirths. So here, meritorious is the this is the desire karma, and form karma is unmovable karma. So when desire, we can change the karma sometimes, like certain level of karma, we can purify it and change the karma. But in unmovable form realm, not changeable karma, because it is due to Madhi concentration, so it's whatever conformed, immovable karma, not for desire, but form realm karma, immovable karma, because certain level of meditation is born in form realm. So therefore it is immovable karma. You understand what I'm saying? So that's from formation that lead to meritorious state comes consciousness. So we will discuss about consciousness. You see the samsara consciousness, causal and resultant consciousness. We are talking since you are born till you are dying is causal consciousness. Moment you are dying, that is resultant consciousness, which are linked to the samsara. We are talking about not fundamental consciousness, samsara consciousness. So consciousness is polluted by ignorance. So karma carry that. We are carrying that karma, that samsara. That lead meritorious state, from formation that lead to unmeritorious state, that comes consciousness, that lead to unmeritorious state, and from formation that lead to immovable state comes consciousness, that lead to immovable state. That is mean by formation cause consciousness. So this formation cause consciousness. Now I want to read Gelupa tonight. I'm Gelupa Lama Tsongkhapa. So who is Lama Tsongkhapa? Lama Tsongkhapa is the founder of Gelupa. So first was born in Eastern Tibet, 1437. Born in Eastern Tibet. Tsongkha is the name of the region where there go many onions, land of the onion. So he was born that area. So anyway, he studied all the. This is why Gelupa is not separate from all the Kagyu, Nyingma, Sakya. He studied all the Nyingma masters, Kagyu masters, Sakya masters. So, and then he started to rebuild Gelupa, that is when this Gelupa started, was born in 1357. Okay, that's Lama Tsongkhapa, not the beginning of his life. Right, his life maybe when he was 52 or 53, so he built a Kadam monastery. That is 1409. That's Gelugpa started. He started with the Ganden monastery. So Ganden and so Ganden, that monastery is generally speaking direct to the Tushita Ganden. So Ganden monastery. Ganden is the Tushita, pure land of the Maitreya Buddha. But when we do Ganden Lagya, Ganden Lagya, you see the Maitreya Buddha. So Ganden monastery direct onto the Tushita. So he found the Ganden monastery in 1409. Right, 1409. And so he studied with all and came to Lhasa area when he was 16 years old. Studied with many great masters. And anyway, so he composed many texts, 18 volumes of the text of the Lama Tsongkhapa. And so briefly his main disciple is the Gyaltsab Rinpoche, the senior monk from Sakya monastery. Kedu Rinpoche also from Sakya. So they both are Sakya. Later became the Gelugpa of the disciple of two men disciple of Lama Tsongkhapa. And so he have many great disciples. And under his guidance, maybe more than 100 disciples enlightened during that period. 100 great master enlightened through Lama Tsongkhapa's guidance, according to the. And then, so we have Gelugpa started 1409, right? Before no Gelugpa. So sometimes we call new Kadamba. Remember, we have old Kadamba coming from Latisha, Tomtempa. We are sometimes called new Kadamba too. New Kadamba with Gelugpa. So therefore, since 1409 Gelugpa started, and now we have three biggest monasteries in our Gelugpa. You can say four: Sera, Trebung, Ganden, and Tashilumung monastery. These are the four biggest monasteries in Gelugpa. There are many thousand, but these are the most important Gelugpa monastery. So Sera is founded by Lama Tsongkhapa's one disciple called Chamjen Chuji Shakya Yeshi, the one of the Lama Tsongkhapa's disciple, but he is Lama Tsongkhapa's cook. Not, it seems to be like he is not studying something like that. When he is cooking, he is studying, meditating anyway. So he seems like not that qualified, but he makes service for Lama Tsongkhapa, make food and take care of Lama Tsongkhapa. So he, because the Manju king and Tibet a big relationship, many years. King of Manju invite many Tibetan masters go there. Before communist China, China, Tibet, strong relationship with the teaching. So Manju king invited Lama Tsongkhapa to Beijing to teach Dharma. So he didn't go.
No.
Three times, Lama Tsongkhapa hiding on the mountain, he doesn't want to go, he do practice meditation like that. And then fourth time, king come and everyone looking for Lama Tsongkhapa, he disappeared. Nobody knows where is Lama Tsongkhapa. Hiding behind the Sera, there's a mountain where he was hiding there meditating. And then they want really invite Lama Tsongkhapa to China, Manju, spread Dharma. And he says, I will not go, but I want to send my representative, Chamjin Chuji Shakeishi, my cook, will go to China, Beijing, teach to the king of Manju king and all the disciples. So he went twice. Chamjin Chuji Shakeishi went to twice. And so he have had like a black Kamaba head. So that's offered by the Manju king. His head is like black hair like Kamaba. So this is the Chamjichu Jishakeishi. He's the founder of the Sera monastery. So that was built in 1419. That Sera monastery built. Started with the Sera. So Sera it meant high. Sera. Okay, so that was close to Lhasa. Sera and Rebung close to Lhasa. Gandhin too far. Gandhin is not that close. Now you can go by car, 2 hours or something like that. Before it take long time anyway. So Sera monastery is founded by the Chamjin Chuji Shakeishi. That's 1419. And then after Sera, then we have Drebung monastery, right? Drebung is built before Sera, I think. Drebung is built by the Lama Tsongkhapa, one close disciple, Jamyan Chuji Pandeyishi, one of the very close disciples of Lama Tsongkhapa. That was built in 1416, 1416. Drebung monastery established. So Drebung means rice heap. Rice heap. Piles of the rice. Usually Deb means rice. Pung means piles of rice. You see in that when you go to Amravati, you see the Pandan Drebung we call, where Buddha gave the Kala Chakra initiation. We went there to Pandan Drebung. So that means the first that is stupa is built by the rice table. That's why there was before Buddha Shakyamuni, that area had lots of feminine happened. And there's one monk, Buddhist monk. So he planted the rice, the plenty of rice, feed all this feminine. And leftover rice, build that stupa. Pandan Drebung, that's where Buddha taught Kala Chakra. So in me Drebung is piles of rice. So that's his step. Then Gandhin, so this is the 3 major monasteries established, right? Gandhin, after Gandhin, Drebung, after Drebung, Sera. Then Tashilimbu is the big monastery in the Shikate, that area. Shikate is the second biggest city in Tibet. Lhasa number 1, Shikate number 2. So Tashilimbu was built by first Dalai Lama. First Dalai Lama is very close disciple of Lama Tsongkhapa. So first Dalai Lama built Tashilimbu in 1447. So big difference, right? Gandhin was built in 1409. Drebung built 1416. Sera built 1419. Tashilimbu built 1447. So these are the biggest monastery in Gelugpa. So most of the famous study of the and then 2 tentacles, lower tentacles, upper tentacles, also built by the Tsongkhapa disciple. So that's the Gelugpa comes. Right? So you know the Gelugpa. Now Gelugpa is we call New Kadamba tradition, right? New Kadamba tradition. Now our main teaching is Lamrim, right? Lamrim. Lamrim is composed by Lama Tsongkhapa. Of course, the Lamrim is the commentary of the Lamrim, Lamb to the Path. Lamb to the Path is composed by Atisha. 11th century came to Tibet. So Lamrim is the commentary of the Lamb to the Path. So Lama Tsongkhapa composed mainly three different types of Lamrim, right? Great Lamrim, medium, and small Lamrim. So gradual, Lupa, it means practice Lamrim is the main practice. Sakya main practice is Lamde. Kagyu main practice is Mamu Chagyachum. And Nyingma main practice is Dzogchen, great perfection. So like that, right? But whole point, one point. Point means one point related to achieving enlightenment, right? So now Gelugpa, we have, how can I say like this? We are talking about the, according to Lama Tsongkhapa, so when we talk about the mind, right? He distinguish gross, subtle, and very subtle mind. Gross mind, right? Mm-hmm. So gross mind is our sensory consciousness, eye, hear, nose, tongue, right? Is a gross mind. Mm-hmm. Subtle mind, according to Lama Tsongkhapa, it depends on the wind, movement of the wind in our body. So great wind, medium wind, small wind. So that subtle mind, right? And then very subtle mind means that is clay-like mind, according to Gelugpa, right? Kagyu Mahamudra, Nyingma, Dzogchen, great perfection, Sagya, Lamde, like that. Anyway, so now what we are talking about here, gross mind, so that's easy, right? Mm-hmm. So now subtle mind, right? Subtle mind is the movement of your wind, strong wind, right? Strong wind, it means 80 conceptual mind, 33 conceptual mind, 40 plus 7, 80 conceptual mind. So these are subtle mind, much subtler than previous eye, ear, nose, tongue. You understand? Mm-hmm. Subtle minds are mental mind, mental consciousness. Previous 5 we are talking about sensory consciousness, individual consciousness. Mm-hmm. The subtle mind we are talking about mental consciousness. So 80 conceptual mind, due to the movement of the wind, strong wind, movement, 33 conceptual mind. Medium wind movement, 40 conceptual mind, right? And weak wind movement, 7 conceptual mind. Altogether, 80 conceptual mind. Let me give like strong anger, wind go up, conceptual mind, right? Like kind of like gentleness, loving compassion. So wind not that strong, So if movement of the wind, then 80 conceptual mind, right? When 80 conceptual mind is seized, 80 conceptual mind is subtler than individual mind. When the 80 conceptual mind is subside or the dissolve, then we have wide appearance mind, red increasing, black near attainment mind. These all are temporary mind. They are not permanently there, right? When these all dissolve, then fundamental clear-like mind, which is what we are talking about. According to Gelugpa, so we have gross mind, subtle mind, very subtle mind, extremely subtle mind. So this will go with 4 empties and 4 joys, according to the Gwem Samaja Tantra. Right? 4 empty, 4 types of emptiness go with 4 types of mind. 4 types of joy goes with mind. Non-dual bliss, talking about light. So this, we have this, you have to understand this 4 empty, right? Empty. 4 empties are here. According to Gwem Samaja Tantra, okay? So joys experience, in total 4 joys. First, so, 4 empty, right? Empty. These are types of emptiness. Empty, the great empty, transcendental empty, and all empty. 2 types of empty. So this will go with the dissolution time, right? Dissolution time. We are dissolving our, how can I say, when 25 gross objects dissolve, right? All the external completely subside. 25 objects, right? You know the 25 object, dissolution of 25 objects, right? So then, when that is dissolved, then void appearance. In void appearance. So when void appearance is empty of 25 growth objects. You understand? Empty. The great empty is red increasing mind. Is empty of 25 growth plus empty of void appearance. The great empty. Then transcendental empty, exalted empty or transcendental empty, same, right? Transcendental empty means like near attainment. It is transcendental empty. It is empty of 25 growth, empty of void appearance, empty of that increasing, like near attainment. So when black attainment is, see, blank is like blank, just like. And then as soon as that, arising from that is all empty. It is completely fundamental, innate mind. So that's how we should know when clear light start emerge, when will it become, when will it go to the intermediate state, and during the intermediate stage, what will you experience through clear light. So that's the 4, according to Gelupa, 4 empty. Kind of emptiness, okay? You have understanding of emptiness and then dissolving, dissolution. So you know what this is happening, during that period that's happening. That period that's happening. Earth dissolving to the water, oh this is happening. Water dissolving to the fire, oh this is happening. Fire dissolving to the wind, and this is happening. All 25 growth objects is and go, that 4 empty should go like that. And then the all empty is the that is the empty of everything. Understand? So that's 4 empty. Then it will go with 4 joys. So joys are coming from, we have to understand the channel we have here. Jo Dechen Kolo, Tibetan, means here Kron is will of great bliss. Dechen Kolo. All great bliss coming from here. You have to open this knot, and then bliss come. Dechen Kolo. Dimbar Nongchu Kolo. Throat is will of enjoyment. Right? Heart is will of phenomena. Navel or sexual organ will of emanation. Four will bring you four joys. So that understanding with emptiness, with channel drop practice will open this forehead channel node. Then you have bliss coming, understand non-dual bliss, understanding of emptiness. That is joy. Number one, joy. And second, Gawashi, Tibetan. Joy is like, I want to read this Lama Thangapati. Joy is experienced through the flow of melting, like melting, regenerate fluid. Yeah. In stage from crown to the sexual organ. That's the joy. So first is the joy, right? Joy. That is the joy, okay. Will of great bliss, open that knot, understanding emptiness, joy. Then this melted down to the throat, open that throat channel, understanding emptiness, that is great joy. Then this go down to the heart, open that channel, right, with the joy and understanding emptiness, that is called the exalted joy. Right? When the gold melting down to the navel or sexual organ, open that channel, and that is called inner joy. Four joys, four empty. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the four joy? Four empty. Tell me. Don't do like this. You should be
Like bliss.
tell me something. Four joy, right? Four joy. Joy, great joy, exalted joy, inner joy. What is that joy? What's the name of the channel?
With a great bliss.
Great bliss. Crazy West. How to teach. Unbelievable. Oh, brain. Unbelievable. Arrogant pride. What's the joy that? What's the four empty? You've been many times. How many times I'm saying to you, don't waste my time. I put lots of to read this. You understand what I'm saying? You have to practice Dharma, You understand what I'm saying? Don't waste your time. Getting old. What can we do? Only one certain. That is certain. That is 100%. Nobody will avoid. That is certain. Everything is not certain, right? Time is uncertain. Right? After what? Only Dharma. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Are you listening to me?
Yes, Geshe.
So, are you subduing your mind? How to subdue the mind, huh? Like wild animals. I'm trying very hard, okay. I don't have to do like this in my life, Too hard. I have my own life, not studying, not practicing, don't waste my time. I'm very serious now. Anyway, I want to know that what are the Gelupas? 3 great monasteries. Right now, according to Gelupa, right, as I mentioned before, these are very important, like mind, growth, subtle, very subtle mind. Then clear like mind emerge, right? So when it's clear like mind, this is fundamental mind. Clear like mind is called fundamental mind. Fundamental mind, there is no beginning, no end. It is from beginning to the end. Beginning, when we enlighten, we have this mind, right? Fundamental mind, not temporary mind, right? Understand what I'm saying? It is not temporary. Fundamental means it is beginningless, endless. But ignorance is beginning, right? But we can end the ignorance. It is not endless. Ignorance, beginningless, but we can end the ignorance, not endless. The fundamental mind is beginningless, endless. So now, according to this Gelupa, so the when we have to know when clear light mind emerge. When clear light mind emerge, when will it goes to the intermediate state? But this is very, very important according. This is why if you have this understanding and then when you are dying, right, you can practice 5 powers. While we are dying, somebody will remind you and tell you you are dying, and then somebody saying, oh, this is the power of humility, this is the power of intention, then the power of white seed, and the power of eradication, the power of dedication. Somebody will remind you, say loudly, this is the time, power of humility. So, when clear mind emerges, when it goes to all these dissolutions, for empty, for joys, right? And then power of humility means your daily practice, right? Whatever you practice in your life, right? Udicita mind, compassion, emptiness, all loving practice, somebody will remind you, saying or say to you loudly, and then you are familiar with those through your practice. That's power, familiarity. Then it goes familiarity and intention. Intention means when mind is separating from the body, whether my mind is in the intermediate state, or whether my mind is dying, or whether my mind is going to rebirth, I will never separate with this my practice. With familiar that practice. There's intention. Intention will influence your mind while you are dying, and that will plant you power white seed. Not negative will arise. Right? Somebody will make you angry or more people crying, and this negative mind can influence. But because previous power of familiarity, power of intention lead you to the power of white seed, means virtuous mind. So when the mind is very virtuous, joyful, then that will lead to power of eradication. Power of eradication means that I'm dying, I'm in the intermediate state, I'm going to reborn, all are empty of being existed, yet appears to my mind due to ignorance and the grasping, it's not true. That eradicate your grasping mind. And then you dedicate, right? Power of dedication. So dedicate means when my mind separate with body, right? I will be reborn in a place where there is Dharma flourishing. I will never separate my mind with the Dharma, especially with the teaching of the Nama Tsongkhapa. So that's how you lead 5 powers with the understanding of these 4 joys, 4 empty, and different levels of the mind according to Nama Tsongkhapa. You understand what I'm saying? These are very important. You practice familiarity. You have to memorize, okay? You should memorize this. Every power of familiarity. First, you should memorize of combat of Tibetan familiarity. Pembet of intention. Kabo Sabinit of white seed. Then eradication, right? Purifying, right? Purifying. And then dedication. So you memorize this every day. Power of familiarity, power of intention, power of white seed, power of eradication, power of dedication, with understanding of the clear light mind. That's in Lama Tsongkhapa's men practice. So he practiced like this, right? He practiced all this, he worked very hard, do many studying whole time, same time, purification, building temples, building many monasteries, Asa, Chorumpoche, all for all this. Chorumpoche, before it's not Chorumpoche. Chorumpoche, before is the statue of Buddha, which is one of the most auspicious statues from India to China, China to Tibet. That auspicious, it's just Buddha. Mulam festival started in Lama Tsongkhapa for the crown, make the complete enjoyment Buddha, Chorumpoche. So many things he did. And he studied, right? If we are following Lama Tsongkhapa, we should do like him. Like we should, his advice, we cannot give everything as much as we can, you know what I mean? We are the follower of Lama Tsongkhapa, right? And then we should follow his advice and listen what he said to us, because he is Buddha. He guided many millions of people in Tibet, Mongolia, everywhere. In this country, we will receive blessing from. So his main point is he said this. This is what he practiced. So we all talk about very high teaching, right? Emptiness, bodhicitta mind. We all talk about very high, tantra. So are we really practicing? Do we have foundation to practice bodhicitta, to practice emptiness, to practice tantra? We should think what Lama Tsongkhapa, what he said to us is, if we have, he said, four root, this will, if we have these four root, all practice easily grow. So four root, he did this practice and showed to his student, to Gyaltsar Rinpoche, Khedu Rinpoche, His Holiness First Dalai Lama, many great monks, they all achieved enlightenment through this practice. You understand what I'm saying? So first he said, number one root is when we realize difficult of finding this precious body, you realize this precious body, you cannot stay doing nothing. Number one root. When that great meaning is seen, then if stay with senseless is cause of sorrow. Number two, if we contemplate impermanent, we will make preparation to the next rebirth. 3. If we contemplate law of cause and effect, right? Source of non-conscious conscientiousness, right? All other virtues grow easily. What we are talking about, virtues about bodhicitta, which is about emptiness, whatever, all this teaching, it will grow. So we have to check whether we are doing right things or not. You know what I mean? Whether you are practicing right or wrong. Just check this quotation. When if we realize, right, this, we talk about not everybody has not precious human rebirth. Precious human rebirth means 8 freedoms and 10 endowments. People who practice Dharma, we have precious human rebirth. Not everybody has. People who have no Dharma, no precious human rebirth. But if we have precious human rebirth, then we have to realize this, how important. Then if you realize this is very difficult to find, then you will not waste this precious human rebirth. That meaning, right? And if you realize, and if you understand the meaning of this precious human rebirth, it will dispel from the soul. Yeah, you do. You are finding the answer of what is the root cause of suffering. Ignorance. Ignorance causing suffering. If ignorance causes suffering, then how should we dispel ignorance? Renouncing from the samsara, right? Then we have understand the karma. If you have no karma, then just put this life, right? People don't care about the future, right? So this is and then we have this four root, uh, all virtues will go. You understand? This is the man teaching quotation. We often say people relax, right? Are we relaxing? We really relax when we realize emptiness and bodhicitta mind. Otherwise, no way, wherever you go, right? It's just temporary, right? People often say, right, relaxing. That's the Lama Tsongkhapa's advice. So I'm just giving his message to you guys. Will you listen or not, up to you, okay? Just your individual work. I'm just giving you advice from my heart. If you don't want to listen, no problem. It's up to you. Up to you whether you listen or not. I don't care, right? My home is to give you advice. And if you don't listen, then what can I do? Huh? Not like rock in Tibet, We used to the garden, rock outside there's rock. And when raining, it will turn into green, harder and harder. That means we shouldn't be like that. Our mind should be not harder. Subdue the mind, right? It's the point of Dharma. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying from my heart, okay? I don't want to hurt anybody, just from my heart. If you're really practicing Dharma, you should be gentle. So, show some sign, right? It's not like recitation easy, I can do this like this. But it's not like Dharma is from the heart, even from the mind. Buddha's teaching is the 84,000 teaching. We talking about all 84,000 teaching, come to one point, means to subject mind. Right? Then all teaching good. Otherwise, you don't have to be, I'm practicing high yoga tantra, I'm very long time Buddhist, whatever, But if you don't subdue mind, what's the point? I'm really telling you the truth. I'm just saying, You understand what I'm saying? You're listening to me, up to you, okay? I'll just give my advice, and then up to you. Whether you want to listen or I don't care anymore. That's my advice to you. Okay, I'm very a little bit harsh, but it's not harsh. Okay, it is from my heart. It's not.
Geshe, is karma involved though in how much a person will understand this and how much, at how well level a person will reach? Like
Yeah, karma, of course.
their previous karma will
Yeah, if
dictate.
you karma, you meet the dharma, right? If you have no karma, you will never meet the dharma. You understand what I'm saying? Because of karma, we meet the dharma. So we are very fortunate, at that point, very, very fortunate. Even hearing one dharma, very fortunate, right? I'm not saying, but very fortunate. Just one sound of dharma. We're talking about all these big teachings, Heart Sutras, emptiness. Just hearing will dispel and plant the many seeds. Of course, right? Even we recite mantra or whatever, You understand what I'm saying? That's the point. I'm just talking to you guys. Harsh to you? Is it harsh to you?
No, I don't think so.
Harsh to you, up to you. I'm not harsh, I'm just telling from my heart. You won't suffer, then you don't practice Dharma. That's the point. If you practice Dharma, you're happy. You will not suffer. Right? If you don't practice, then you will suffer. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the point, You're getting old, You're not young, really. You understand? Not very long to live, What can we take? Really. You understand what I'm saying? Really, really short life. You should practice, Don't waste your time. If you have time, you should practice. I never I try to not waste my time. You understand? And if you have no time, then different question. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying Dharma, you sit down there, Dharma is something necessary, not necessary sitting down, right? But you can do many things, right, for others. That's the Dharma too. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to sit on the cushion and like that. But I'm saying, if you really practice, then you should practice. You understand? If you don't want to practice, then you should not do it. There's no result. You understand what I'm saying? There's no point. You understand what I'm saying? It's very important. This is my teacher saying like this too. If you don't want to practice, don't do it. You don't do practice. Up to you, you know what I mean? Just giving my advice to you. And if you listen, up to you. If you don't want to listen, up to you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm giving from my heart. You understand what I'm saying? Don't waste my time. I'm really working hard. I have good life in my life. I don't have to rest. It's my teacher advice me to teach. Otherwise, why? I have to stay like this. I have good life in India. Very easy. I don't have to do like this, making preparations and spend lots of time here. But you should practice Dharma. Somebody work hard, then you get benefit. I get benefit too, yeah. I learned a lot in this, how to read text, if I'm studying some Heart Sutra, I've read all these commentaries. So I've learned many things. I don't know, I know very little, I don't know much Dharma, compared to my teacher, I know very little. But very great master, Khyentse Rinpoche, Pakwa Rinpoche, these are my teacher, nothing for me, just I'm at least trying to say you to practice Dharma. Good for you, your future. Good for you, like otherwise, no good. You understand what I'm saying? I never say like this in my life. I have to say it sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, he's saying I'm practicing, but not improvement, Then somebody stay here, then there's no good. I can do my many things. I don't have to read this English book. You need to better book. Easy to read. I don't have to just translate, because I spend many hours. You understand? And if you really seriously. You should. And otherwise, you don't ask me to teach you. I don't want. I don't want to teach anymore. So too hard. I don't have to do like this all my life. I really like go to wherever I go. I have one. Understand? You guys listening to me?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Up to you. Okay, I just advice to you. Don't get me upset. Sincere motivation. Okay, baby.